Hello, everyone. Good morning. So this is Elaine Villanueva again. I'm your host for today's webinar. And we would like to welcome all of you to the third week of Kaigangan Biodiversity Research Webinar Series. And this webinar aims to raise awareness on the conservation and sustainable use of Kaigangan biodiversity through a series of online talks from our very own experts. And in case you missed our previous webinar, so this is the third week now, so we have two other webinars conducted over the past 2 weeks. You can go to our YouTube channel, just search for CONserve-KAIGANGAN, and the recordings for the webinars week 1 and week 2 are already been uploaded. This webinar is made possible by CONserve-KAIGANGAN, a research program of the University of the Philippines, Las Bañas, and Samar State University funded by DOST under the Grants in Aid program. So, okay, so for the webinar guidelines, so just to remind you again, so first is we would like to request everyone to keep your microphones off. And secondly, you may send your questions via chat using Zoom or for those who are live in FB or Facebook. And third, we would like to request everyone to fill out our evaluation form via Google Forms. So we will send the link here of our evaluation forms later, and certificates will be sent to the email indicated in the forms. So, first, we would like to introduce our speaker. We actually have two speakers for today. So our speaker our first speaker is a graduate of BS Forestry in Visayas State University, and she previously worked as a forest extension officer and project support officer at the DENR office in Catbalogan City. So currently, she works as a research assistant at Samar State University under the CONserve-KAIGANGAN Project 4. Let us all welcome and also her a happy birthday. Our speaker for today, our first speaker, Forester Jessa Madera.
Thank you so much, Ma'am Elaine. So everyone, good morning. I'm going to start sharing my screen. So, again, good morning. And, thank you for joining today's webinar. So today we will be talking about mother trees in Samar Island Karst Forest. So before that, I am going to give you an overview about Samar Island Natural Park. So Samar Island is known to be the third largest island in the Philippine archipelago, which supports various habitats and forests or different forest types, which includes the forest over limestone ecosystem. And fun fact, the entire SINP consists of more than a quarter of forest over limestone, and this type of ecosystem supports unique plant assemblage and contain high species levels of endemisms. In fact, Samar Island is not just about mega biodiversity, but Samar also has the active and amazing locals and communities that are participating in every conservation, management, and environmental related conservation. So with this, our project, the community-based conservation of plants in forest over limestone. By the way, this project is a collaborative project between Samar State University and the University of Los Baños, in which the Samar State University is the implementee. And here's our member. This is Professor Diana Shane E. Balindo from Samar State University, Director for Center for Fisheries and Aquatic Resources. And this is Professor Giro Adorador and Professor Jerilyn Minisis Adorador, both from University of the Philippines, Los Baños, and they are also taxonomists. So the project, our project generally aims to conduct a community-based conservation strategy for economically important and threatened species, in which specifically aim to engage local to the community to survey and map the distribution of threatened plant species with emphasis on mother trees for in situ conservation purposes. And second, we also strategize a community-based ex situ scheme for germplasm conservation of threatened species. This includes nursery establishment, conduct studies on seedling propagations and distribution to different institutions. So here are the people's organization from Paranas and some studies that we have conducted here at Samar State University. So the third objective of the project is to produce SEPA materials or communication, education, and public awareness for conservation of forest over limestone. And lastly is to develop an indicative conservation plan for the selected forest over limestone areas in Samar. So this is the sample of our layout of the SEPA. So we have 3 project sites, study sites, the Paranas, TAF, Eastern Samar, and Giwan Eastern Samar are identified to have these limestone areas. Last year, our team conducted this series of fieldwork activities, and we conducted a rapid assessment of mother trees. We geotag these species using GPS for easy georeferencing, and the mother trees that were identified and selected was based on the DENR Administrative Order number 11 series of 2017, or known to be the updated list of threatened and economically important plants in the Philippines. So for the species that were not identified, we collected samples of leaves, fruits, and flowers for herbarium purposes and for further verification. Next. So our project came up with this partial result. We have collected a total of 170 mother trees across 3 municipalities, comprising 47 species belonging to 21 families, and mostly represented by 9 from Dipterocarpaceae, 5 mother trees from Myrtaceae, 4 from Saputaceae, 3 for Sapindaceae. And important species, 2 species each from this family, Anonaceae, 2 species also from Apocynaceae, Ibinaceae, Lauraceae, Miliaceae, and Lismoraceae. So among 3 sites, overall, we have recorded a total of 19 threatened species listed under DENR Administrative Order number 11 series of 2017. So we have recorded these critically endangered species, namely Hopea philippinensis, Hopea samarensis, Sharia Astalosa, Fatica magasapoy, Ishmagasapoy, and 1 endangered species, the Madhoca oblongifolia, and other important and vulnerable species from other families. So I'll be showing the photos later. So please keep watching and listening. Okay. All right. So next. Here are the maps, the distribution of the mother trees in each site. So this is for San Isidro, Paranas, Samar. So at an elevation of 225 meters above sea levels, we have recorded our first mother trees here from Dipterocarpaceae family. And for the Tinani, at an elevation of 150, we have recorded our first mother tree from Saputaceae and Myrtaceae from an elevation of 197 meters above sea levels in San Rafael Taft, Eastern Samar. So among sites, we have noticed that this G1, Eastern Samar, has the lowest elevation. We have recorded as our first mother tree species at an elevation of 22 meters above sea levels. So from Paranas, Tinani, and San Rafael Eastern Samar, most species presented here were from the Dipterocarpaceae family, and here at G1 are mostly from Moraceae family. So next. So this time, I'll be going to show you the photos of the mother trees we have captured during field work. And I put this color coding or barcode to determine whether it is a critically endangered species, a vulnerable species, endangered, not threatened, or least threatened, or least concerned. So for Paranas, we have two sites, the Tinani and San Isidro. And first, we will be talking about Tinani, Paranas, Samar. So for Tinani, Paranas, Samar, we have recorded a total of 27 mother trees comprising 15 species belonging to 11 families. And the relevant composition of the mother trees falls to the 29% were from Duyok or Manilcar Fasciculata, followed by 11% both from Sharia Astalosa and Amadhoca oblongifolia and Sharia Esquamata. So while we are conducted our geotagging, or while we recorded the mother trees, we also have gathered the DBH of each mother tree. So in this chart, this figure, it shows that the average diameter of the breast height, this Pterospermum species or Malabayok get the highest average diameter at breast height with a 77 centimeters DBH, and followed by Bunguran or Terminalia macrantha. And next is the Himamaw or Xylomolycemium. So among these mother trees, we have recorded or among all the mother trees with the largest bole, we have noticed that this Manilcar Fasciculata has 4 entries. So showing you this photo of Manilcar Fasciculata. This species is endangered, vulnerable species and endemic to Philippines. It has a straight and cylindrical bowl. Kaya this is usually harvested from the field para gamitin as a timber production. Look at the merchantable height of these trees. Maraming magagamit na timber because of it is free from branches. And this Manilcar Fasciculata with a genus of Manilcar, which means with milky latex. So Manilcar or milky latex. So kaya barang mas madali natin isipin that these Manilcar species are commonly known for the traits that have this white latex. So this Manilcar Fasciculata also found out that they grown or thriving along or at the steepest slope of this limestone. Kaya nakapansin-pansin po talaga itong Manilcar Fasciculata sa field. So, okay, next, we have San Isidro, Paranas, Samar, and we have recorded a total of 78 mother trees, comprising 27 species belonging to 13 families. And then the relevant composition of these mother trees, the 14% of the composition belongs to Tristanopsis micrantha or tiga, and then followed by 10% from Sharia negrosensis and Santos Timon philippinensis. So for the average diameter at breast height, we have for the average diameter at breast height, we have recorded that the Xylomolycemium species get the highest diameter of 150 centimeters, and followed by Sharia negrosensis or tangili with 143.2 centimeter diameter. And next is the Santos Timon philippinensis. So among all the mother trees with the biggest diameter trees, it is recorded that the Santos Timon philippinensis or Bago Adlaw, the photos I'll be showing later, get the highest diameter at breast height of 200 centimeter. 210 centimeter. So next, okay. So these are the photos in the field and the actual during the conduct of the study. So from the Pterocarpaceae family, we have this critically endangered species, the Hopea philippinensis. This commonly known as gisok-gisok and locally known dito sa Samar, they call it gisok na puti. And it is easily can be identified by having this asymmetric leaf base, this one here, and it has sometimes nakikita natin this just only a small tree and a bulbous bud trees, and this is good source also for timber. And so this is the photos from Tinani, Farana, Samar. The mother trees were recorded as the number 94 mother trees. And another side story about this the Pterocarpaceae family, and not just about gisok or overall the Pterocarpaceae. So one time during the fieldwork activity, I asked the field guide I asked them kung kailan yung fruiting and flowering of these species. Since hindi namin ito nakikita yung seeds sa field, so I just grabbed the photos from COS Digital Flora website, no, para may makita din kayong photos of the seed of this Pterocarpaceae. So I asked the field guide and sabi niya, ma'am, maimot po ito. So this maimot or like the term maimot in waray-waray kasi ito. So if we apply this maimot to person, it is moody or unpredictable. And one fact about the Pterocarpaceae is they have this what we call erratic seed year phenomena, in which the seed or the fruiting or flowering of this Pterocarpaceae species can take very long period of time, like estimated of 3 to 7 years before sila magbunga. So kaya tinatawag nila ito nga maimot kasi they think nga makori or hindi nagbubunga itong Pterocarpaceae species. So next, we have also this Vatica mangashapoy or mangashapoy, critically endangered species from also the Pterocarpaceae. It is commonly known as narig and locally known as gisok. So most of the people here at Samar, mostly sa mga Dipterocarpa or mga Dipterocarps trees, tinatawag nilang gisok. And nako-confuse po sila sa lahat ng Dipterocarps. So if you are in the field, tapos you're going to ask kung anong puno to for the reference, or for the local or vernacular, they always call it gisok. So the narig has two varieties, the yellowish and the red. So the common narig na nakikita natin is the red one. And this also characterized for having this flaky chip bark. And the uses of this narig is for galleons, tenders, junks, and usually yung iba is ginagamit as para sa boat and cascos. So, this is the actual photo of narig that we have geotag at the field. Geotag as the number 24 mother trees with a diameter at breast height of 35.3 centimeter. So next, we have the island endemic and critically endangered species. Sorry. Island endemic species, the Hopea samarensis. So I have searched about this. So Hopea samarensis. Hopea means silvery, and samarensis, since this species can be found or originated from Samar. Kaya tinatawag nilang that is why this is named after Samar. So Hopea samarensis, commonly known as Samar gisok, locally known as gisok. So this island species has a camouflage bark. The fruit, the fruit is still unknown, and this is harvested and used for timber housing and other for the locals. So next is the Sharia Astalosa, or commonly known as yakal, and locally known as yakal madlaw. So emphasizing yakal madlaw or madlaw. Madlaw means or madilaw or yellowish. So tinatawag nila itong yakal madlaw for having this yellowish wood. Pag ikakat mo siya, yellowish yung wood niya. So mas prefer na tinatawag nilang yakal madlaw. And another story about yakal is the word yakal is the term yakal has a similar meaning sa mga Tagalog words and ancient times during Hebrews. This wood, this yakal named as, they refer this as a hope, since ito yung ginagamit nila during biblical times. King Solomon, ginagamit ito as ginagawa ng boat. So kaya yung endurance ng puno is mas matagal. So this is the Sharia Astalosa, an critically endangered species, recorded as number 96 mother trees at Tinani Paranas, Samar. So it has 54.4 centimeter diameter at breast height, and it is endemic to Philippines and generally used for construction and shipbuilding. So yakal stands for hope. Okay. Next is Sharia Polysperma, a vulnerable species and commonly known as tangili or dark red Philippine mahogany. So hindi po siya yung mahogany na nakikita natin around schools, campuses, and along roads. Hindi po ito yung tangili na Sutennia macrophylla. Ito po ay tinatawag na Philippine Red Mahogany or Philippine Mahogany kasi ito yung trade name or ng mga premium and mga wood from Sharia and the Torcarp species. So we have recorded these mother trees as the number 27 mother trees from San Isidro, Paranas, Samar, and it has a DVH of 143.2 centimeter. This is also endemic to Philippines, and the wood is used as cabinets, floorings. Some also here at Samar ginagamit nila. Pinuputo lang yun yan just to make housing. So next is the Sharia negrosensis, or commonly known as red lawaan or Philippine Red Mahogany. The difference between this Sharia Polysperma and this negrosensis, mas darker for yung tangili compared to this red lawaan. And at the field, San Isidro, Paranas, Samar, we have tagged these mother trees as the number 68 mother trees. So may DBH po siyang 37.6 centimeter, and this species is endemic to Philippines. And usually, since itong these Dipterocarpaceae species have a nice quality of wood, kaya they usually harvested it to use as timber production at ginagamit pang housing and any other construction. So some also reported about the extractive of these Sharia negrosensis nagamit daw as for tumor inhabitant. So next is the Myrtaceae family. We have the vulnerable species named Santos Timon philippinensis. So this is the largest tree, largest mother trees that we have recorded among sites, from Paranas, Taft, and Guiwan. This Santos Timon philippinensis is the highest diameter at breast height of 210 centimeters. Commonly known, tinatawag siyang bago adlaw, pero dito sa Samar, they call it bago adlaw. Emphasizing bago adlaw or adlaw means sun, because of sa flower niya that resembles the ray of the sun. So this species is endemic to Philippines, and it is the standard wood among the Philippine ironwood trees. So ito yung vibrant color niya, vibrant yellow, that resembles the sun. Usually, ginagamit ito as heavy construction, for heavy construction. So next, we have this Combretaceae family, the Terminalia macrantha. This is known as bunguran and locally known as sagumamban. So this photo is considered to be the first photograph in situ since the description of Hustoruho last 1969. So this species is native to Philippines with a 65.6 centimeter diameter at breast height. And according to Ruho, this tree can grow about 18 to 20 centimeter high and has indumentum simple brown hairs. Sa dahon niya. So the wood of this Terminalia macrantha is used as medium to light to medium construction. So this is what the seed look like. It's look like a mini Terminalia katapa. So we have recorded this as our 105 na mother trees sa Paranas. And it is very important to know at nakita natin since there is only limited photos and information about this Cumbritaceae family, the Terminalia macrantha. So next we have this Juspirus discolor, commonly known as kamagong, or locally known as balinagta, and they call it, because of summer, they call it balinagta, emphasizing the agta or dark or maitim because of the bark of this kamagong na thick and bark niya, tapos maitim, and the color of the wood is ebony. So kaya tinatawag siyang balinagta and kamagong. And by the way, this Juspirus discolor and Juspirus philippinensis and Juspirus blancoi are the same, and those species, scientific names are the synonym of this Juspirus discolor. So we have recorded these mother trees as our number 40 mother tree species at San Isidro Parana, Samar, with a DBH of 51.6 centimeters, and it is endemic to Philippines. Yung fruit niya is mas kilala natin sa tinatawag na mabolo, and it is edible. The wood of this species can be used as furniture and object of arts. So next, we have this Madoka oblongifolia, or commonly known as malabitis and locally known as manga-manga. So there is also a limited information about this malabitis, and according to our local guides, they call this manga-manga since yung dahon niya, the leaves of this manga-manga smells like Mangifera indica, or tinatawag natin nga mangga, from Anacardiaceae. So this also produce white sap, and is recorded to be the number 79 mother trees from Paranas, Samar, and that's DBH of 43 centimeter and endemic to Philippines. Samar known also here in Samar, these species they use this for housing and other construction. And next is the Tristaniopsis macrantha, or they commonly known as tiga or matigas. Yes, this species is from Myrtaceae family, and usually Myrtaceae family has this matigas na mga species. This is endemic to Philippines. This tree also contains a high level of silica, and the wood is very durable with the natural durability index of 2, kung saan 1 is the very high and the 7 is the very low. So this is used as heavy construction. Pero some of the nagsisinso ay di sila nagpuputol ng tiga kasi po it has higher silica content na nakakasira ng machines. So next, next we have San Rafael, half Eastern Samar, and for San Rafael, half Eastern Samar, I also San Rafael, Southeastern Samar, we have recorded 35 mother trees comprising 10 species belonging to 4 families, and it was composed of from the 22% of these mother trees were from Sharia negrosensis or red lawaan, and followed by Sharia Astalosa and Sharia Esquamata or Palo Sapies. So At San Rafael, we have recorded the reed lawaan get the highest diameter at breast height, followed by Opea philippinensis, and so on. So species from Paranas and San Rafael are almost the same. So for the following slides, I'll be showing you different photos but have the same description kasi they have the same species naman sa Paranas. So for Dipterocarpaceae sa San Rafael Taft, we have recorded another Hopea philippinensis, Hopea for silver, and philippinensis is kasi galing siyang Philippines, and they also commonly known as gisok-gisok, or dito sa Samar is gisok na puti for having this white wood niya. And at San Rafael Taft, this is our 138 na mother trees na na-record with a DVH of 121 centimeters. This is endemic to Philippines, and the ball is buttressed and have this asymmetric lift base. So next, another critically endangered species, same also to Paranas, we have recorded Isharee Astalosa sa San Rafael Taft, and this is our number 123 mother trees sa San Rafael, commonly known as yakal. It symbolizes hope sa mga Pinoy and has a DVH of 89.1 centimeter. It is endemic to Philippines, heavy, hard, and strong elastic. And this Sharia Astalosa is very durable. No? Ginagamit siya for general construction, shipbuilding, and others. So this is very critically endangered. And next we have Sharia negrosensis, or the red lawaan, the Philippine Red Mahogany, with a DVH of 85.9 centimeter. This is endemic to Philippines and usually used for timbers and tannins. So ito po yung Sharia negrosensis sa San Rafael, and look at the trees, despite sa rugged topography, ito yung limestone karst na-survive at na-thrive pa rin itong red lawaan despite sa limestone. We usually nakikita yung mga puno, usually they grow in a normal ground, pero sa San Rafael Taft, we have this amazing Sharia negrosensis that grows along the limestone crust. Next is Sharia Polysperma, or known as tangili, with this dark red wood. It measures 7 centimeters at first. It's endemic to Philippines. In San Rafael Taft, we recorded this as our number 137 mother tree. Next, Sharia almond. This is Sharia almond. Hindi po siya yung almond na kinakain natin, the almond nut, but this is a Dipterocarp species, Sharia almond, na locally known, tinatawag nila na lawaan kulob. Lawaan kulob is like the inverted boat shape, yung napakulob. Kasi yung leaf niya, like this, ay like naka-curve here, or indented boat. So kaya tinatawag ito, mas na-identify nila at mas nakikilala nila yung tinatawag na lawaan kulob compared to almond or Sharia almond. So this species is vulnerable and endemic to Philippines. Usually ginagamit for general high-grade construction. And this is very durable tree, and it is almost similar po sa mayapis for having this leaflet sa habitual ng leaf nila. So this is our 134 mother trees recorded at San Rafael Taft, Eastern Samar. Next is the Kingodendron Alternifolium, or commonly known as batiti, and locally known as pamintaugon. So this species produces green sap na pag nakahanginan is nagiging parang gami-gami. And this species from San Rafael Taft is recorded to be our 111 mother trees with a DBH of 36.6 centimeter. This is from Fabaceae family. This endemic to Philippines, and it can grow from 15 to 35 meter tall and have 80 to 100 centimeter diameter at breast height. Ginagamit po siya as wood timber, and yung extract niya, yung sap niya, yung green, ginagamit po nila as a resins. Next is the Sharia giho, or commonly known as giho, and locally known as yakal madlaw. By the way, it is not madilaw, but this giho is has yellowish, dark yellowish to red color, and it is moderate to heavy, strong and brittle. Usually hindi siya na-defect, kaya they use this as flooring and general construction, especially sa houses. So at San Rafael Taft, Sir Samar, we recorded this as our number 117 mother trees with a DBH of 81.8 centimeter diameter at breast height. So next is the Sharia Polysperma or Sharia Squamata, and commonly known as mayapis. At the field, we have recorded these species as mother trees as our 112 mother trees. So meron po siyang same characteristic na almond, yung leaflets niya na makikita under sa petiole or ng leaves. This is endemic to Philippines. Soft, light soft, medyo hindi siya durable, pero ginagamit pa rin ng mga local natin dito as for temporary construction and other housing. Next is the Xylomolycemium species, or commonly known as himamaw. Himamaw is recorded to be our number 128 mother trees dito sa San Rafael Taft. It is under family Meliaceae. It is endemic to Philippines and has irregular crown branches with terminal rosette leaves. Ito yung leaves niya. The uses of this himamaw is ginagamit nila as medicine, and some of these are ginagamit as wood for cabinet makings and other furnitures. Next is, and I think would be the last dito sa San Rafael, Eastern Samar, we have Syzygium simile from Myrtaceae family, or commonly known as Panglombion. This species is endemic to Philippines, and Syzygium is an evergreen tree that can grow up to 8 meters tall. So medyo there's limited information also about this Syzygium simile. So according to some researchers, these Syzygium simile were used as food. Okay, next, let's move on and go to Golos. If you want Eastern Samar, we have these less threatened species listed here. So a total of 30 mother trees comprising 11 species belonging to 8 families. The 44% falls to Kalukoy and followed by 13% from Malabunga, and it has the largest diameter of trees recorded at 57 centimeter at breast height of this Baliting Kapalan. So for Giwan Eastern Samar, hindi po siya same sa Taft and Paranas, mas rag po yung yung mas pointed din po yung mga limestone at mas marami yung limestone rocks dito sa Samar, kaya usually the species we have recorded or Ficus from Ficus family, Murasii. Number 1 is the Ficus calosa, which is the most represented families dito sa Giwan, and it is commonly known as Kalukoy. This Ficus calosa is recorded as our 143 mother trees na na-record with a DVH of 51.0 centimeter, and this can grow about 25 to 35 meters tall, and it also has a straight bow and can harvest for local use, and also the wood as source of and fiber. Okay, next we have this Ficus crassiramea, or commonly known as Baliting Kapalan, and in a DVH of 37 centimeters, we recorded these mother trees as our number 142 mother trees among sites. No, this Ficus crassiramea is endemic to Philippines, which can grow up to 52 meters tall and have this diameter at breast height up to 61 cm. So according to local, ginagamit po ito, yung roots and bark niya are ginagamit as snake bites, pang-cure sa mga snake bites. So next, we have this Pangyom idyol. Unfortunately po, wala po kaming photos with this Pangyom idyol, but this is commonly known as Pangi, and we have recorded the DBH, na out of battery kasi during field work. So we have this DBH of 70 centimeter. It is endemic to Philippines, and the seed of this Pangi are commonly harvested and wild, then serve as food po ng mga tao. Okay, so this Pangyom idyol is from the Archacharia CA, and it is not threatened or less threatened. So, though it is also has the economic importance kasi these species serve as a food ng mga tao. So next, we have this Saputaceae family, Planchonelia duclitan, or commonly known as duclitan. This duclitan, we recorded at Ngulos Giwan as our number 144 mother trees, measured 39 centimeter, and this species is endemic to Philippines, and this duclitan is also free from branches. Kaya it has a nice wood that used usually some curving and other cabinet and furnitures. And this wood, according to them, is not durable and minsan lang ginagamit for building a house. Next is Apocynaceae family. I actually grab some photos online. This Apocynaceae family, the Raicha pubescens, or commonly known as Lanite. In the field, we have recorded the DBH of this mother tree having 23 centimeter. This tree is endemic of Philippines, and it can grow up to 35 centimeters. The bark is yellowish to brown and branchlete. And the use of this species, I mean, yung sap niya ng lanite, in other country, ginagamit po ito sila. They use this as a traditional cheese-like product. Next is Estonia Escolares, also from Apocynaceae family, or commonly known as dita. Yung nakikita po natin. Yung iba, actually, meron along the road lang po. This dita can grow up to, this is a large trees kasi, so mga up to 60 above, or 60 to 100 centimeters diameter at first height. And this is endemic of Philippines. It has surface gray-brown, irregular crack, yung ano niya. So the dita has this white sap, and usually ginagamit po siya as a light construction ceilings pattern. In fact, some other countries, or some dito din sa Philippines and some other places, this dita, they use this for making a coffins. And we have recorded dita from Giwan Eastern Samar as our 157th mother trees. So yun lang po. And that could be all for the identification of mother trees in forest over limestone here at Samar. So thank you so much, and hope you look at Sunday.
Thank you, Jessa, for the presentation. So we know a lot from the mother trees of Samar, and yeah, I just know today that Manilcar is actually means milky sap. So yeah, we use that as passcode during our Zoom meeting or the Zoom meeting. And for actually, we would like to just recognize the our audiences from Facebook Live. So actually, it hit around 30 viewers. So as I was reading the comments here, some are from Bohol, some are from Samar, Leyte, from Bye Leyte. So hello. And let's now proceed for our second speaker. Actually, this is a two-part presentation. And our second speaker is a professor of Samar State University. So she is also the project leader of CONserve-KAIGANGAN Project 4. And let's all hear from Professor Diana Shane Balindo of Samar State University.
Hello, good morning.
So, Ma'am Diane. Ma'am Diane. Looks like we're having...
Wait lang po, na-disconnect lang. Okay, so there you go. So am I good? Okay, so good morning to everyone. This is the second part of Jessa's presentation. So we're done with the identification of the species found in Karst Forest of Samar. Now let's move on to the community-based conservation. Actually, Project 4 is more on the community-based conservation of organisms or plants under Karst Forest. Okay, so Project 4 conducted a lot of activities like trainings, but unfortunately, we are very much affected by the pandemic. So there's a lot of activities sana and other mga, how do you call this, information dissemination campaign that we would like to conduct in different places in Samar. But due to travel restrictions and to the pandemic, and also we fear also for our health, so medyo nagka-problema kami sa ibang activities. However, I will still present to you kung ano yung mga activities na nakonduct na ng Project 4. Okay, so we are on the community-based conservation. So first, going to the project beneficiaries and linkages. So the project, our primary beneficiary is the Basaranan nga organisasyon Han San Isidro Samar. So this is a people's organization of residents of Barangay San Isidro in Paranas, Samar. Also, we have tied up linkages with SINP and PAMB, which is a multi-sectoral government governing body. So we presented also our project and the entire program's accomplishment to these stakeholders, particularly during the PAMB meeting wherein different sectors are present. So nandun yung mga taga-PNP, mga LGUs from 3 provinces of Samar, from Northern, Eastern, and Western Samar, and also different municipalities. Nandun din po ang iba't ibang agencies ng government, yung AFP, PNP, yung DENR, nandun din yung DSWD, the DPWH. So it is a very comprised of wide array of stakeholders. So it's a good how do you call this? It is a good venue to present the accomplishment of the entire program of CONserve-KAIGANGAN. And actually this happened last year, I think if I'm not mistaken, during August yun. So after malift yung lockdown for 3 months dito sa Samar. Wherein after din ng presentation namin, 1 week lang, nag-lockdown ulit ang Catbalogan dahil sa dami ng cases ng COVID. Okay, so this is also another meeting. So we presented the project accomplishment and plans to the beneficiary, to the bosses organization. So this is also conducted last year, August, in order for them to be aware of what is happening, what had happened, and what will happen with the project and promises na may mga ibibigay yung project sa organization. Okay, so these are the insight to conservation activities na nakonduct na ng Project 4. So this is during the first year, we trained the community, particularly the PO, in GPS handling and geotagging of mother trees. And actually, they can also use the skill in geotagging other species, not only mother trees. So some of the beneficiary of this training were also invited and used as field guides and have joined the team in mapping and surveying the forest, particularly on the distribution of mother trees. So if you try to look at the photos, you can see yung mga second liners to ng bosses, yung pinasama nila para matuto and for them to gain skills on rapid assessment of the forest, particularly in conducting assessment of mother tree species. So this was conducted in the 3 municipalities that have been explained to you earlier by Jessa. Okay, so one of the result of this activity are the maps or the SEPA materials that were made by Project 4. So this was also discussed earlier by Jessa. We made for Tinani. We also made for Taft, for Giwan, and San Isidro. Okay, so these maps and field guides are already in production. So medyo na-delay yung production dahil nga sa pandemic, nahirapan kami mag-canvas ng mag-print. But this is already in progress and we are planning to distribute these maps to people's organization, different people's organization in Samar, to the different LGUs, particularly to Paranas, Taft, and Giwan, because they are our beneficiary for this program. And also, especially, we will give a lot of copies of this one to the Provincial Tourism Office. Kasi ang Samar right now, actually before pandemic, nagbo-boom na ang tourism ng Samar, particularly for caving, mountaineering, and also for water rafting. So this would be a great help for the tourism of Samar, that people might want also to visit these mother trees, because only few people nowadays have seen big trees, actual big trees in the actual site, which is in the forest. So most of us, most of the youngsters of our students have only seen this type of trees in Facebook, in the internet, or in books. So this is a good SEPA for distribution in Samar. Actually, if other institution will ask for this, and we will gladly give copies to them. Okay, so aside from that, we have also conducted some activities in relation to ex situ conservation. So before the actual ex situ conservation, we trained the beneficiaries, particularly on silviculture and nursery management. So this was conducted during the first year in 2019. So we have our speaker from VSU to teach the PO on silviculture and nursery management. Aside from that, we have also introduced clonal propagation technique, because some of the species very difficult kasi seldom kami naka-timing that there are flowers or fruits or seeds that we can use to grow them. So we tried for clonal propagation technique and also for replanting of wildlings. So we taught them that, and also we did another activity, which is also the hands-on activity. So it includes not only me and Jessa, but also other instructors and professors from Samar State University. For example, Prof. Andro and Prof. Julian Zartek. Okay, so for the beneficiaries of the trainings, it is not only the PO members and the second liners of the PO, but also senior high school students of Barangay Calape of Paranas and Mochong, which are undergoing in situ, TESDA in situ training for agriculture, because our beneficiary, the PO bosses, is also conducting in situ for agriculture. So aside from agriculture, we also train them on clonal propagation, seedling propagation, and also in preparation for distribution to different institutions. So as you can see in the photos, majority of them are teenagers because they are senior high students. And there are some medyo older na. These are naman the members of the People's Organization. Okay, so for the ex situ conservation, as I have said, after the training, they will apply that and they will transfer that to the nursery that the program is planning. Actually, ongoing na ang pag-construct. So Project 4 is constructing this nursery, which is comprised not only of the greenhouse, the hardening bed, the seed germination area, but also a 10 by 6 office for the project and also for the PO. So as you can see in the photos, this photos in here, this is the site inspection. And now, as you can see, malapit nang matapos yung office. And the next to that is the greenhouse, yung dalawang greenhouse na gagawin for them. Wherein, yung mga plants na prepare ng mga students at ng bosses mismo ay ita-transfer natin for how do you call this, for management. And if they will grow and if they will leave, they will be distributed to different organizations that will conduct replanting or forest replanting, or they want to conduct other activities related to this. Okay, so for future plans, the project and the program in general will have planning together, conservation planning together with the PAMB and DENR, and hopefully we can conduct that before the year ends. So we're just hoping and praying that hindi na mag-lockdown dito sa amin, no? So para mas mapadali namin yung mga activities relative to conservation of forest over limestone ecosystem. Okay, so that is it po. Damo nga salamat. Maraming salamat for listening to Project 4's accomplishment. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Prof. Shane Balindo, for sharing the project's accomplishments on the community-based conservation. And we would like to mention also that we will give out certificate to Ma'am Shane and Ma'am Jessa, which will be sent via email later. And speaking of certificates for our participants, the e-certificates for you guys, we will send it also to you after accomplishing our evaluation form. So please keep in touch and we will send the link later. And if you have any questions for our speakers, please leave them in our Zoom chat box or in the comment section of our Facebook Live. So we will now proceed to our question and answer to be led by Ma'am Des Fernandez of UPLB.
Hi, Ma'am Shane and Jessa. Thank you very much for your very exciting talks about the mother trees of Samar and also community-based conservation. So now we will proceed to answer some questions from our audience, and we'll accommodate the questions sent in advance first, and then those from our Zoom and Facebook Live comments. So thank you again. So now our first question, I think this is for Jessa. So what are some criteria to consider in identifying mother trees? Are these criteria global, or can it be localized or customized?
Yes, for the mother trees criteria, we have these mother trees. Mother trees, we consider these mother trees for having straight and cylindrical bowl and this dominant crown at the field. So it is siguro sa Philippines, it is localized kasi we have different species from, if we consider the global parameters in identifying mother trees. And Philippines, yes, we considered also the as mother trees, those species or trees that has that is vigorous and healthy, that they can produce these healthy seeds for the future generations.
Yan, thank you, Miss Jessa. So, may global standards pero localized din kasi iba yung mga tree species natin sa Pilipinas. No? Tama ba? Okay, and then our next question, I think can be answered by either of our speakers. Pero the question is, if more people know about the locations of mother trees, could that put them at risk for illegal logging? So I think any of our speakers can answer the question if they want.
Actually, yes. But also, mas mapoprotect sila if other people would also know kung nasaan talaga sila. There's always a positive and a negative side to life, no? So we identify if they're still present, we identify their location for us to be able to conserve, to protect them. Pero ganun nga, kung gagamitin yung data natin, yung kaalaman natin sa hindi maganda, maaari talaga. But if we use that on a positive side, then we will be able to protect. Same with other ecosystems, no? For example, in marine, fish finder is invented for a good purpose, but is being used for the other side. So mas nagiging yung harvest ng mga fish. So same as true with the forest. So ang ano lang natin is mas ma-protect na lang sila because alam na natin kung nasaan sila.
Tama nga po. And I think na-discuss din ni Ma'am Shane na dahil in-involved yung community, may parang at stake, may
Sense of responsibility din sila.
Apo. And speaking of community-based conservation, so we have a question about what were the general attitude of the people in the area towards conservation? Ano po yung mga naging reaction nila when you proposed this to the community?
Actually, we did not conduct how do you call this, a survey, but generally the entire barangay San Isidro, a majority of them are member of the organization. And positive naman yung kanilang how do you call this, ang kanilang response to the project and the program. Actually, for example, with the nursery construction, the organization shouldered the, how do you call this, some amount for the labor. So the program gave the materials and the organization shouldered some amount for the construction of the nursery and of the office. So with that, gumagastos sila ng sarili nilang pera to help us also in the project. Then we can say na positive talaga yung response nila with this collaboration.
Yan, I think yun din yung naging importance of parang formalizing yung ating parang approach dun sa ating community. And then I think maybe this is the last question, I guess. So I guess this is a question for Ma'am Jessa. So maybe some of our watchers are young foresters or young botanists. What can you say about starting a career in, kasi researcher kayo, in the realm of research versus say sa industry or sa government?
Yes, about that. I actually work as a government employee sa DENR and now sa research. So both naman may magandang naidudulot and for the at the government, so for the plain forester, yung mga ginagawa talaga ng mga forester ay na-practice mo while kung nandito ka sa research, mas maganda din siya in terms of studies kung gusto mo yung magdidig pa about not just conservation, not just about identification and other. Kung gusto mo about more pa, you can do research, and pwede, while you're at the government and working the forester related works, you can also naman do research and while pursuing the degrees and other forestry related activities. So,
Yeah. Oo, tama yun. Thank you very much, Jessa. So I hope that will inspire our younger mga foresters siguro dyan or aspiring researchers. And then, of course, from the perspective din ni Ma'am Shane, I know you are involved also with the research department sa Samar State. What can you say specifically siguro for our students in Samar State University and across Samar who want to go into research in Samar Island?
Okay. For the students, actually, there's a lot more. There's a lot of how do you call this, areas for research in Samar. Actually, my students now, they're conducting research. They are education, but the research is pure science. Okay, so they went for marine science researchers actually, kasi mga science majors naman sila. And then I think they found it exciting, challenging at the same time, kasi medyo napakahirap mag-research ngayon. But for the students, please conduct research. If you can land a job or get a master's degree, which will lead you to conduct research, then much better, because development will come with a good research. Okay, so hindi tayo mag-improve. Philippines will not improve if we do not conduct research. So magiging stagnant lang tayo, mananatili lang tayo sa kung anong meron tayo, and we will be, how do you call this? Aasa na lang tayo sa mga data coming from abroad. But we can do research. We have the resources. I think we have the talent. And pursue research. It's a nice field. It's not common here in the province, pero masaya siya.
Oo, tama po yan. So, we can have an interdisciplinary approach kahit hindi kayo science talaga or biology, na kahit communications even. So, pwede rin kayo mag-research about the biodiversity of summer. Not just sa trees, pero syempre sa animals din, guys. Let's do it. Okay, I thought that was the last question, pero may pahabol question tayo. Just a quick question from Known Foreman. I think this is a question for Jessa. Kasali po ba ang sa criteria nyo ang tree health ng mother tree?
Yes. Kasi yung mga mother trees na kinukuha natin, we make sure na they can produce good seeds or seedlings para for the future generations and for the distribution also para maging mas marami yung this type of trees. So they help, and yes, we consider the health of the mother trees.
Yeah. And I guess important rin yun to keep them producing seeds in the future, to keep them healthy and safe. So, yun. So, thank you very much to Ma'am Shane and Jessa for your answers. And thank you to everyone who asked questions. So, Ma'am Shane and Jessa, if they want to contact you, are you willing maybe to give your email address if they have follow-up questions po? So, maybe pwede nyo pong i-type sa chat, or you can also email us at CONserve-KAIGANGAN, or also you can message us on Facebook, comment on this video, whether it's on YouTube or on Facebook Live. Okay, back to you, Elaine.
Hello. Hello, Ma'am Des. Thank you for that, and for Ma'am Shane and Ms. Jessa for answering the questions of our viewers. And I would like just to share with you the the link for our evaluation form. So let me share it to you in here. So here is the link. So you can type bit.ly/kaigangan week 3. You can also scan the QR code below, which will direct you to our evaluation form. So your e-certificates will be given after accomplishing our evaluation form via Google Forms. So on behalf of the program, we would like to thank everyone, all of our viewers from Facebook, even on the YouTube in the future, and of course from all of the participants here in our Zoom webinar. And we would also like to thank Ma'am Shane and Ma'am Jessa for providing information on the knowledge on the mother trees, especially on the community-based conservation. So for our next week, we won't be having our webinar, but the next webinar series will resume by June 11th. And we would also like to request everyone to like our Facebook page for you to be updated. And that is facebook.com/CONServe-KAIGANGAN. And I would also like to mention again that we are uploading our previous webinars on our YouTube channel. Just search on CONServe-KAIGANGAN on YouTube, and you will find the webinars the talks from Prof. Marlon, Prof. Buot, and Ma'am Des. And that's it. Okay. Thank you, everyone, for helping, for being here and for watching. And may I remind again, before we leave, can we have a photo so that we can, yeah, just to picture. Yeah, Mom Des, can you take the picture for our participants today?
Sure, no problem. So, dalawa yung pages natin. So, open muna natin yung camera natin sandali. Kahit wag na yung mic. Okay, let's wait for the others muna to open their camera. Okay. Sige, so yung first page muna. Okay. Okay, smile for the first page. 1, 2, 3. Okay. And then, let's move on to the second page naman. Okay, for our second page of participants. Okay, smile po. 1, 2, 3. Okay, thank you very much. Back to you, Elaine.
Okay, so our webinar is now over. Thank you for joining, and we hope to see you on our next activity, on our next webinar. And hope you learned a lot. Goodbye. I will close now this Zoom link. Thank you, everyone. Bye.
Bye. Thank you.